Hello, everyone. Really excited to be here. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for trying to pronounce my last name. It's really hard. No need to try. I come from Greece, so you can understand that. It's so exciting to be talking after Dr. Pepper, who is really a pioneer in our field, and I'm going to talk to you about how we incorporate technologies like the ones that Dr. Pepper mentioned during his talk in wearables of the future in order to help people develop emotional awareness. But before doing so, I want to tell you really quick a personal story. So 4 years ago, I was supposed to be the happiest person on earth. I had my dream job, I had a long-term relationship, I was living in my dream apartment in my favorite city, but still, instead of feeling like this, I was feeling more like this. And it seems that I was not alone. 1 out of 5 people in the US self-report as having issues with depression and anxiety. Now, at this point of my career, at this point of my life, I decided to explore what was going on and visit a therapist and explore the field of positive psychology. And the most important learning that I got was the importance of emotional awareness. And we all do it nowadays, right? We have wearables tracking our fitness, tracking how many steps we took, how many hours we slept. However, we don't do it for the most important indicator of our happiness, our emotions. And this is particularly important, and many people in the room know that. And of course, scientists in the field of positive psychology have run a lot of studies around this subject over the past 20 years. However, still, we don't have anything. And someone could ask, is it even possible to measure and recognize human emotions the same way that we recognize how many steps we took throughout the day, how many hours we slept? And the answer is, surprisingly, probably not for many people in this room, yes. And this takes us to the field of affective computing. Over the past 20 years, scientists in a variety of major universities like MIT and elsewhere in the world have developed and studied the field of how can we recognize human affect. And it appears that the 3 most prevalent techniques is through the analysis of facial gestures, analysis of speech, and analysis and monitoring of physiological signals. So facial recognition, what it is, really quickly, most of you probably know that already. This is the way that we are using as humans to recognize if someone is happy or sad. So if I'm smiling, it means I'm happy. In the same way, computer vision algorithms are able to recognize those indicators and recognize if a person is happy or sad through the analysis of images or videos. The second technique, the analysis of speech, is again something that we do it in our lives. So how many times have you been talking to the phone to someone, and although they're miles away, you can recognize by their tone of voice that they're upset or sad or happy. In the same way, advanced algorithms are able to pick up those indicators and recognize if someone is happy, stressed, or sad, or many other emotions. But the way that we decided to monitor emotions with our product is through the use of physiological signals. And probably you have noticed how you sweat when you are stressed, or how your heart is pounding faster and harder when you're angry. All those are indicators from your autonomic nervous system that are telling you that an emotional stimulus just happened. It's exactly what Dr. Pepper was talking about before. So 2 years ago, when we decided to start our company with my co-founder, our purpose was to help the world develop emotional awareness, because both of us had seen the benefits of emotional awareness. We were doing emotional journaling for years, and we had seen how important this was for our well-being. And we were examining all those different techniques to see which one would be the best for a consumer product to help people continuously and unobtrusively monitor their emotions. And it appears that the first 2 technologies require an external force to monitor their emotions, so a camera or a microphone. But the monitor of physiological signals doesn't require any of this. It requires just a wearable, in the same way that Fitbit works for your steps and activity, there could be a wearable to monitor your emotions. And actually, this is what we went on to build. Feel is the first smart wristband that is able to recognize and track your emotions throughout the day. And the wristband itself has 4 sensors, not very different than the sensors that Dr. Pepper talked about before. Galvanic skin response sensor, blood volume pulse sensor, skin temperature sensor, and we have an activity sensor as well. So those signals by themselves do not tell us a lot, but our algorithms, based on deep learning techniques, are able to extract more than 150 indicators from those signals and recognize 5 different emotional states: happiness, sadness, stress, anger, and satisfaction. And through the mobile application, the user not only would be able to see how they felt in different times of their day, but also would be able to correlate with other applications from their phone, for example, to add context to this experience and better understand what caused them to feel good or what caused them to feel bad. Also, they would be able to see the patterns of their emotional state over the past few days or weeks or months. And this is just the first step in order to build emotional awareness. But those technologies have the benefit that they understand how the person is feeling in a particular point in time, and they can provide the right feedback to that person. So for example, when you're angry, that's the right time to tell you to do a breathing exercise. But when you are happy, there's no point of telling you to do a breathing exercise, right? So by this real-time coaching, we can be an ally to the person that wants to achieve their well-being goals. Also, we're able to recognize the effectiveness of our suggestions and our advice to the individual and personalize their whole system to the particular individual. So this is how those technologies could be used today. And in the development of these emotion recognition technologies, we faced a lot of challenges. Dr. Pepper addressed a few related to galvanic screen response. The previous speaker mentioned a few challenges as well. One of the biggest ones that we faced is how can we have an objective metric about how our subject is feeling in a particular point in time. So, okay, our algorithm said that you are feeling happy, but how do we know that you actually felt happy? And to do that, we developed a process together with our psychologist and in that process, we stimulate different emotions using a series of videos. So as you can see in this slide, this is one of our very early experiments, almost 2 years ago. And the subject is wearing VR goggles, and she's watching a series of videos that are designed to stimulate different emotions. So we know what emotions are to be stimulated. Then we ask the subject, how did you feel during this process? And then we go on and see what our algorithms were able to predict. And since then, we have done hundreds of experiments. And the results that we're getting are really, really good. So based on those results, although we have a long way until we go to market, we believe that next time this year, we will be able to give you a few feel wristbands and see how you feel during the conference. Hopefully, you feel happy and full of satisfaction. But no matter what the challenges are, the potential of emotion recognition technologies is amazing. And not only to the individual, of course. I mentioned that the importance of emotional awareness is key to leading a happier life. And of course, those technologies could help us better connect with our inner self. But also, those technologies could help us better connect with our loved ones. Imagine how you could share your emotions with people that are away, that are miles away from you, and keep communicating with them emotionally. But it's more than that. It's a new opportunity to communicate with the world around us and the technologies around us in an emotional way. Imagine, for example, that your Spotify knows how you feel and plays different songs when you're angry or when you're sad. Imagine if your smart home understands your emotions and personalizes the whole experience to adapt to how you feel. changes the temperature, the lights, the music, everything in your house. Imagine if your car understands if you're angry and tells you to stop driving until you calm down. Of course, imagine if countries and corporations would be judged based on the happiness of their citizens and employees. And most importantly, imagine if mental health researchers were able to have access to this kind of data and were able to do predictions of mental health illness early enough. And of course, healthcare providers that could monitor the emotional well-being of their patients both during and after hospitalization. All those are going to be within our grasp in a few years. And actually, the need of humankind to measure and communicate our emotions is not something new. Many of you might remember the mood rings of the 70s, right? And although those mood rings didn't really measure mood accurately, their huge commercial success shows only this, that we want to better understand how we feel and communicate this to the world. Now, with the existing technologies, the existing wearables and mobile technologies that have penetrated in our lives, for the first time, we have the opportunity to develop a world that feels. Join us in this journey to spread the word about the importance and potential of those emotion recognition technologies and help all of us connect with our inner self, our loved ones, and the world. Thank you.